Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Here.
And I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And this is our review of the pilot episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, Marvel's new show comes to ABC.
Yeah, produced by Joss Whedon,
the man.
Yeah, the guy who directed Avengers, and in this first episode, he wrote it and directed it. I think he co-wrote it with his brother Jed Whedon and his wife Marissa.
He's done some stuff Spartacus too.
Yeah, that team actually did stuff on Spartacus, but they also helped out with Joss Whedon's Dollhouse and Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog as well. So they're part of the Whedon family. Marissa always jokes that she's the Asian Whedon.
Right, that's nice, yeah.
So, you know, this is a pilot episode, a lot of really high expectations.
Right.
The reaction has been from like people that loved it and people that hated it. I know a lot of people that are on different sides of the fence. And I say I liked it. It wasn't, for me, it wasn't great, and I didn't love it. But I enjoyed it, and I liked it, and I think there's a lot of potential there. It was definitely solid. There are some flaws we'll talk about later, but what'd you think?
It's fun. I mean, it had that, it had a very Whedon-like, you know, banter and comedy, and you know, I mean, again, there's some holes and there's some stuff in there that's like, okay, but I mean, it's fun. I like the cast. I like, you know, the two scientists or whatever, the kid.
Fitz and Simmons.
I mean, they're fun. I mean, it's got that light feeling. It's kind of nice. I mean, I think the problem is we watch so much heavy stuff. You and I, we watch Boardwalk Empire and Homeland and
Breaking Bad.
It's just everything's so heavy. Like that's why I like Once Upon a Time. I like this. Like ABC's kind of light. You know, it's got some fun and some family type stuff to it. It's good. I mean, I'm definitely
I think a lot of the haters thought it was too light, that it was too much of a comedy and too silly and whatnot. And I kind of understand that. It did go a little far in terms of like, it wasn't, you know, maybe as serious as I thought it was going to be. But, you know, you have to understand the way, I mean, I know a lot of people watch the show because it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they loved Avengers, they love Marvel Universe. But a lot of these people are not familiar with Joss Whedon. They just think Avengers is like the first movie he ever made or something like that. But if you've ever watched Joss Whedon's shows, other than Firefly, which is great from the beginning, all his other shows start off very slow. They actually don't get going for a while. Buffy, I didn't get into the second season, midway through the second season. Angel, I think almost like third season. I didn't start getting into it. Dollhouse, I think towards the end of the first season I started getting into it. This is only the first episode. I'm pretty sure the show is going to edge towards more dark, because that's what he does. If you've ever watched Buffy or Angel, it's all silly in the beginning. And then it gets kind of dark. I mean, Buffy got darker than I thought, you know, later on. So that's what I think is going to happen with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, I hope it does. I hope it has a nice balance. That's what I like about Firefly. Firefly had the comedy, you're always laughing every episode, but also had the drama. It had a great balance of both. But, you know, some of the stuff I don't care about. Like, the fact that Coulson's alive, I can't get mad at it because we are in a comic book world, and as we know, comic book characters do not stay dead. But the problem with that is it's just like, they're like, oh, he can never know what happened on that island or in Fiji, wherever he was. I'm like, I don't care how he came back. Honestly, I really don't care how he came back. They never explain. I mean, it just seems kind of silly.
I think it's actually going to be an integral part of the show. I think it is. I think people...
I like the actor. I like Clark Gray.
Oh, he's great. I'm glad he's back. And
he's funny.
And I think that storyline is going to be weaved throughout the show. And I know fans want to know. They want a reasonable explanation for it. You know, is he a clone? Did Nick Fury actually fake his death? Maybe he went in a coma. They revived him. They used some new technology. Who knows? But there is definitely going to be some sort of mystery around that.
So what I'm curious is, because this is part of the Marvel Universe, I didn't expect to see, is they're using Extremis in this episode, which we just saw this summer, in May now, of Iron Man 3. So I wonder now, I hope they keep this routine going. Are they already planned ahead for Thor? So when we go see Thor: The Dark World in November, are we going to see elements maybe in the second half of season 1 of Marvel event? I mean, I hope they kind of, because that universe, they're trying to keep it tight.
Well,
I hope they.
Having Joss Whedon produce this series and having his brother and his sister-in-law, like kind of the head writers for it, I think that definitely there's gonna be, because he's in there with all the movies.
Right.
Like he's overseeing Thor. I mean, Alan Taylor mentioned that
like
Joss Whedon actually,
Christopher Nolan basically.
Yeah, like Joss Whedon actually had a hand in some of the writing in terms of trying to solve problems and how it fits within the whole universe. So yeah, I won't be surprised to see some of the Thor elements, play out or not play out, but like have some consequences that affect Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, no, I mean I think it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining to see. I mean, I like the lead actor. I don't know the actor's name. I can't remember his name, but
the character.
The agent. The agent.
Grant.
Grant. Yeah, I like him. Ming-Na. Of course. Stargate Universe, y'all. Come on, she's good. She's been around a long time, but yeah, I mean it's kind of solid.
Good cameo, Maria Hill, Kobe Smulders.
Yeah, I heard that she wants to have a bigger role at some point. So
yeah, we don't know.
Done with How I Met Your Mother, maybe she can.
I mean, How I Met Your Mother's on the last season, so I don't know how much time she has, but hopefully she gets to peek in once in a while. So I'm saying a lot of positive stuff and about the potential and all that stuff. So now to the negatives, the things I didn't like. I did not care for the character of Skye, the hacker girl.
Oh, okay.
She's hot. But one, I don't believe she's a hacker, at all. And two...
Oh, the girl she lives in the van.
Yes, the Rising Tide. This Rising Tide hacker group is a group of one.
Yeah.
She hunts down Mike Peterson, who Angel and Joss Whedon fans know he played Gunn in that series. Okay. So Joss Whedon looks like he's bringing people back. He had a book from...
Whedon likes doing that. He likes
from Firefly is in there. He had a small role. I'm sure he'll be back as well. I don't know if Gunn is going to be back. I mean, Mike Peterson.
Right.
But I didn't care for that character. I thought it was a little silly to have her as a hacker with perfect hair living out of a van.
That's ABC. It's pretty. Got to look nice and clean and pretty.
And then, and of course, they set it up this love-hate relationship between her and Grant, and
it's already starting.
That's going to turn into a relationship.
He does the true serum, and he's like, you're the most, says all this stuff about her. And
yeah. That's going to turn into a relationship later on, so I think that, kind of turned me off to her character as well.
Right.
And also just this inclusion into S.H.I.E.L.D. seemed a bit easy. They kind of let her, see everything without, this is
S.H.I.E.L.D. always plays itself as the most secret organization ever. But I'm like, a lot of people, for being secret, a lot of people see what's going on in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, just come on to here. Check out all this information. Come in this meeting. We're going to tell you all this stuff. And so that's why maybe she'll grow into a character that I'll like in the future. But as of right now, I think it's kind of silly.
And I hope for budgetary reasons, I know it's maybe difficult, but I hope maybe every now and then we get a cameo. I don't think it'd be too hard for Chris Hemsworth to show up on set for an hour, just put on the costume and just show up, just to say hey, and then leave or something. I don't know if, those guys cost a lot of money, so we'll see. But I hope maybe we see those guys at least once or twice.
I think what we'll more see is
clips.
Well, not clips, but we'll see the back of a Thor flying away, or Iron Man. You don't need Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
You can just have the suit or whatever. I don't know if they're going to have
taking off as the other guy just.
I don't know if they're going to pay for the visual effects to do the suit or not, but they might have that type of stuff. But I don't foresee them ever being, even guest stars in the show.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, those guys' schedules. But yeah, it's good. I think it'll be fun. If anything, it'll be, just something to watch, kind of a little escapism. It's good.
Yeah, and I think, the first episode is not where we're going to judge this series. I mean, like I said, it's in Joss Whedon's pattern where, he starts off lighthearted and kind of silly, but eventually he starts going down a much darker road. So I hopefully that's where this show is going. All right, guys, so that's what we thought of the pilot episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let us know what you think. You can post your comments on the website or on our YouTube page. That's Think Hero Pro. Make sure you subscribe. And we are also on Twitter. You can chat with us there. And my screen name is @ThinkHero.
I'm @GriffinDE.
And we also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans.